The only thing that's going to stop that is great border security with a wall or a slat fence or whatever you want to call it. And we'll call it a barrier instead of a wall. And I'm okay with that, too. I don't care what you call it, but it's got to be there. The wall, the barrier, whatever you want to call it, it's okay with me. They can name it whatever they can name it. Peaches. I don't care what they name it. But we need money for that barrier.
I'm asking why you in the polling questions respectfully are still saying wall when the president said you can call it whatever you want. Call it steel slab barriers.
All right, so it's not a wall. Unless, of course, you check Donald Trump's tweets today, where he writes, quote, "Let's just call them walls from now on and stop playing political games. A wall is a wall." All right, well, that's all you need to know about where Trump is on the wall negotiations today. His meandering, at times incoherent ramblings in front of the press pool this afternoon had that same head-scratching theme to it. Asked if he, the president who presided over the longest government shutdown in U.S. history, costing an estimated $11 billion, could have done anything differently. Here's what he said.
Could I have done it differently? No, not really. I mean, I think by having the shutdown, we've set the table for where we are now. If I didn't do the shutdown, people wouldn't know, they wouldn't understand the subject. Now they understand the subject. They realize what a humanitarian crisis is.
Joining our conversation, Washington Post national political reporter Robert Costa. Robert Costa, his aides have to feel that he did a whole lot more than set the table. He did damage to his poll numbers, and he didn't build any support for the wall.
At this point, Nicole, White House officials tell me the president has to make a decision. The way he keeps talking about a wall is really about existing fencing at the U.S.-Mexico border. If Democrats offer something to bolster existing fencing, can he walk away and call it a deal or not? If not, we face another shutdown.
Robert Costa, what are you hearing about sort of anyone's appetite for speaking truth to the president? I've heard that he's totally hostage to the loudest voices on right-wing media on this question of the wall, and that he's more afraid of them than anyone that works for him in that West Wing.
The White House is confronting a Republican Party that is still in the president's grip politically, but is being a little bit more assertive on Capitol Hill. You think about the action taken today by the Senate Republicans to push back against the president's decision on foreign policy to pull troops out of Syria and Afghanistan. You have a Republican Party that's uneasy about the shutdown, brinkmanship the president has used so far. So even though they know he controls the party, he has the base in his hand, they're trying to at least slowly say, this is our party too.
Robert Costa, can you flesh that picture out a little bit? It seems like the Republicans had to acknowledge some political gains at least, and perhaps even in terms of public opinion around some of these questions you're talking about, around some of the more isolationist foreign policy, around this wall where Democrats are still offering nothing.
Democrats continue to believe that the president may believe he has leverage, but they have the political better position. That's why Speaker Pelosi is telling her rank and file to hold firm, that the president is isolated from his own party on some of these issues. But the president believes, when you talk to his confidants, that he needs to keep the base with him in 2019. Divided government, subpoenas flying, 2020 on the horizon. So he's trying to navigate here to show the base. He's going to the extreme, try to secure some kind of funding for a structure, a barrier, even if it's not an actual wall, and then walk away. But the White House is struggling to figure out a political calculation that the Democrats can claim as a win and the White House can claim as a win. So far, the president, who talks about his deal-making skills, has been unable to cut that deal.